Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back again to be continue on Alexandra Daddario's 31st birthday on TV shows and movies today. So we're gonna have to continue on movies today. So today's the day on Play as 2014, Burying the X as Olivia. So she works at the ice cream shop of the day. She's continually to be asked about for memories of Auntie Yelton as Max, Ashley Green as Evelyn. She was married. She was married for Paul Curry today, and she was very most reaction on the last 2.5 years. She was pretended. She was pretending to be the ex-girlfriend for Evelyn, to new girlfriend and Olivia. She was enjoyable love for the kisses, having fun on a day. She was been in about for the switch it over for the relationship. For the Max was meeting for Olivia today. She works to the going to help back holidays for the health on Halloween today. So she was apparently bringing lots of stuff for bringing to the lots of kids watching a horror movie. She was pretending to leave the ex-girlfriend. So Evelyn was back from a dead for a funeral for the day. She was killed by the bus driver. Was pretending to fell down to the ground on the street to the avenue on in Hollywood, California, and when the nightfall was in the cemetery on Hollywood, California, and Max and Olivia wasn't in the car today. She was celebrity for the sex. Celebrity the sex. They were sleeping in the car. He's gonna call her. He's gotta call her to say feels gonna be alright. She said, "You're alright, by the way," and she is worth it. And she's saying thank you very much for coming in. So the one I have it about the eyes turning up for dot red was the zombie. He was pretendedly to Evelyn Evelyn was find a way out the hide and seek for Olivia's on ice cream shop. She was literally freaked out. She was kidnapped. She's called the police. She's called the police department. It wasn't that her dad. It wasn't that the dad's ex-girlfriend. She met her before for the first time. She was former. She's tied up the chair. She's pretended to what was going on, and she was fight like a zombie, like the blood on it, and he literally just bite over with his neck with his blood, and he was dripping. He was dripping on the floor. She's going back for dead. She's going back for burial for dead. And they need to hurry up. And they're getting married on tomorrow. And until the month ended now. So, San Andreas 2015. Blake Gaines was her dad named Raymond. He plays by Dwayne Johnson. He was uncomfortable, was it on Australia under the 2 gallons of water under the San Francisco, Los Angeles, Las Vegas on Nevada under the San Andreas Fault. She was pretendedly to going out for arrival for the airport for Daniel. He plays Ian Grufford. He literally just being about the appointment and about the job or about the interviews and about his job. But she was the first time she met Ben before her brother Oli, or his brother Oli here. He came from England. She was nice to meet them. He's gonna call her phone number. as she's going to back to the tax going back the limo here. There's a lot of earthquake on Hollywood and Los Angeles here, and Emma was staying behind with his friend here, was pretendingly to get us some lunch today. So it was involved. She met before she was just started for the statement was California was pretendingly to the college students, and the professor was genuinely announcing for an ensemble for the earthquake according to the San Francisco to go by. When they have an according to the history, and one of the Las Vegas dam was falling over to made up for the waterfall was the tsunami. It was flooded. It is a disaster. It was a call about 2015 as to 2015 on the earthquake in San Francisco. They're saying California dreaming it. So one we have the Blake was trapped into the tunnels. They're stuck in there. He literally stuck in her legs, and Oli and Ben was going to help her out, and Daniel let her go to escape. Let her go for escape, and Daniel left behind from Blake was generally, but he can't hear by Ben, and Daniel was literally left behind from Blake, and Emma's gonna threaten was she was gonna have to get your ass up, and you better not responsibility to her daughter. And he just suddenly walked over in about San Francisco to the dam and the tower, and suddenly for the kiss scenes, and Emma and Wayman rescue for Emma from the Los Angeles destruction, and he was pretendingly to arrive back to the car, where the chopper was out of the gas. They're swirling down around, but he crashed inside to the road in this property, and he tries to borrow this truck, but he punches ahead by the guy's gun, but he punches at his nose, but he punched the guy, but he borrows the truck, and the two were the old people just helping for Raymond, and Emma was going to arrive to the plane. They literally just jumped down over and about for Blake's sister was rolling down to the river. It was fallen to death. It's been about long ago, about 5 years ago, from 2010 on San Andreas. Raymond has about the 2010 in this year. She was misses her different daughter. She was gaining weights, be it flexible. She is going to get Blake. They're going to arrive on the San Francisco, and to continually to the earthquake, to the corridor to walk over and over, to shaking into the city. And the Blake was injury. It was sharp. It was sharpie. It was sticky itchies, and it was sticking with his legs. He tried to tie her up with her sweater like bandages, and there was certainly be kiss, romantic kiss, on movies, and he says mom's gonna love her. Oli says he would reply. He gets thirsty, and like the zombie was burying things. So they're making the waves. Daniel was falling over the truck. He crashed to dead, and the destruction in the Golden Bridge was red. They're almost getting flooded. There are a lot of them. They're saving 50,000 people, and the wounded and the death and gone about 15,000 of them. In a lot of the histories, and according to the Smithsonian Channel, they're thinking about the Blake drowning the water just too deep into it. Raymond helps her out of the water. She gets air. They get out of the building, and he tries to practice things, to pushing with the chest. He blows the mouth. He blows under the mouth. As she is alive, as she is resurrected, she spits it over and throw it over from water. She is reunited. She is ended up for the disaster of 2015 this year. That was about last 2 years. Last 2 years that have been about San Andreas. Just been a while ago. So this is the end now. So the next movie is The Choice. Play Monica. So Travis was same thing about his girlfriend was walking towards the port thing for the boat. He works there with about two girls. She was very hot day. The two hot girls, and two guys was the same thing about get the skull thing. She was literally crushed for Travis. Was the same about this program. Watch a new buy, but they getting the beer, and she was Sheehan was in the same thing about walking over about Carnival Fair for very interesting about meeting for the college student for Teresa Palmer, Gabby Holland, and she is same thing about new friend here on Travis Shaw and Ryan McCarthy as Tom Welling, and Travis and meeting for Ryan or his girlfriend, and Monica meets Gabby, and Ryan wasn't thinking about his father was thinking about The Notebook, a romantic movies about his father was about longer time ago. He was saying she was pretendedly she was been about a year ago. She's been about her friends over again. She calls Travis out with a dilating with the phone. She misses out. He's gonna ignore her, and she was long time. She seems about 3 months later, and in the night went home after the Gabby and Travis was broke up, and Ryan too just tomorrow, and Monica was gonna able to break up for Travis, and he's gonna marry Gabby today, and she leaves from Travis to another guy with a friend was been about 10 years about anniversary and new living their house. The friendship was over. Was name of Gabby was wrote it over with The Notebook. She's saying was great, having a great issue. She says farewell for him, and she was saying goodbye. She was about 65 minutes ago. When Monica was saying goodbye from Travis to marry for Gabby with the two kids, and Ryan was a doctor, was adopted, and Maggie and Stephanie played by Maggie Grace. She was pregnant. She has a baby, and she has a baby one. She wants him about The Choice was over as the romantic movies. She was very good. She was also very good kind. So next thing, Big to Brooklyn, and Kate Winston was very most the new friend here was David here. David, he plays by Josh Brenner as college and the jobs. He was a cute who we are. He has a boyfriend named Simon. Was consideration to his college from his house. He was about exclusionary, was being crushed, was a new boyfriend. While he was selling weed, he's gonna able to give it this a lot of people to read, and he lost his job. He's opportunistic, waiting for her. He was kissed, and he was longer than about his birthday was taking the pills and water, lost the medicines, and she's going out herself. She was pretended to sacrifice, pretended to saying every time to the incentive for his job, for he should spend a lot of time from David was selling me on his internet. She was opportunistic. He was pretended to eating for dinner for herself. And she was going back by her house, just as mentioned, when David was pretended the other guys just wrote it onto the wall, and she was robbed the bike, and somebody stole David's bike. But he gets mad and yells at him, but he don't talk to him. But he gets punched in the nose, it's bleeding, and he gets hurt. He literally said he just broke up from Kate to talk about the Davis mom was consideration to read it on finding a way the house all the way towards about 200 miles to bikers. But when a residential house in the properties, he walking over from the police department to take a rest about 15 minutes. But he knocks the door, and she may say, "What is he doing to her house?" And he left her to the bunk for the bingo game. She was bike over all the way towards from 200 miles per hour, 200 miles for biker a day. He's been exercising to work out the sweats, and she tells the mom in about a couple of minutes. She pretended for him to punch Avery and punches his nose. She was former to tell him to leave her alone. She was literally great to see her again, and he opens that door. She has the ex-boyfriend Simon. She is watching for kids, but he chasing David. Simon is running, and David was biking. He was challenged. It looks like it about exercise time. Alternative ended. So next thing, Baywatch. Summer Quinn. She was meant for the crush of him on Zac Efron. She was also thinking about the Matt Brody. He were thinking about 2.5 months in about since 2016. Descending into about May 19, 2017. Kelly Wubach, C.J. Parker, Avanis Heldra, and Parker AJ, and John Bass as Ronnie, and Dwayne as Mitch, and Priyanka Chopra was proposed to do something about 4 girls and 3 guys was the same about the team as a team with the lifeguards. One thing the pursuit was 100 hot girls, including 600 hot guys, was the same thing about very most challenging into their exercise. The 2 guys was lifting up to the 2 refrigerators. What's challenging to win was Mitch here, and Matt was second. Was an elusive, solitary, elusive, the different. For once to call everything She was pretended to send it to the new trailer here is about 3. This is gonna official up about April 2nd. So, but opportunistic show kind of about your opportunity to beat about adaptation. The already requirements is about your gentleman here is about equations. It's yours. It is your plan to be something about from every plans for Matt and Summer wants it about true love about kiss almost. They have a problem is it's a part of the lifeguards on the jobs. She thinks about the outdoors on the beach on in the Miami, Florida. He decided it seems like about the surfers here on the waves on the Atlantic Ocean all the way towards the water on the main street. They're rescuing for help the girls out of the boat. He was explosive. He jumped down the water, but he saved her life. So probably think about an idea about sending to the Paramount Pictures presented to Newby. And a lot of the 6 lifeguards pursued on this team. The team is elites. It's about the leader of a ship. Our orders about it in changes of now was insanity. Also, we know about opportunistic is yes. So we would confirm it for sending to the best personality if he was completely very proud of you. For good reason. Next, when we first met for Adam Devine. Avery Martin met before. She was thinking about the second one. Was it a new friend? Was it wearing the work suits, work dress for the doctors for the hospitals? And she was met to the Robbie and Mel from Life of Derek. She was pretendedly to kiss on the Instagram. Sorry. She literally just walked over the new friend here. He was crushed for Avery. She is pretended to the new actor here. She'll tell us about how to the work with the actor, how it works here to do much about make up about 1,000 awards here. She was met to sent to the Golden Globes in 2017. So Alex was playing Avery was crushing him for the Adam was the saying. She was totally about all awkward. It was a kind about in the mirror day. So I can show you about see you as a plan. So sometimes Avery crush on him for those that are another guy for came up a guy. They send it to the romantic movies of all time. Just like the choice. So, next thing. We will always live at the castle. Constance Blackwood was it her sister? Was Tassa Farmiga? He lives in New Zealand? It was that a community. It was a community around the country there. It was that the small island looks like about the Hobbit did, and Natalie was she's bringing the Natalie with her was following in this videos.com new by 1 minute and 60 seconds. Once to the aftermath the new by. Also we have to start it. She knew has to about able to lot of good things about Sebastian was the family Blackwoods was the same uncles and brothers and sisters, wives and husbands here was supposedly and taking the photo she was Sebastian was from Captain American trilogy and sent it to in the Avengers Xfinity War and the Ant-Man was opportunity and what an opportunity in the Marvel's adventure on the Marvel's DC and Adventures today. So she was very most welcome to the crush on him from Logan was a donation to the City Halls. But he left from Percy Jackson 3 Titans Curse the like it that and about Alexandra Daddario's dating, affairs, boyfriends, husbands, anyone. What else did key favorite moments if you never forget about her new best friends ever. Again. Last one. No Miss 2018. So Alex played Rachel, was it her husband, Marshall here, played by Henry Cavill from Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, mentions of Suicide Squad, Suicide and Justice League, playing the Captain Sylvester. He wouldn't understand there. He plays Mortal and Tutors here. He was pretended to the training station on the Superman. Was DC Comics was playing most of the superheroes as a trinity of the Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Aquaman, a Cyborg. Was it a good superpowers here? Was it good to fight against the supervillains here? Alexander, Lex Luthor, and Doomsday, Steppenwolf, and a lot of Russian terrorist soldiers, and the Joker, Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, and Diablo, and Anubis, and the Enchantress was all the supervillains still. And the minor character as Amanda Waller was announcing for Superman was still alive. It was the same thing about Daily Planet as Lois Lane, played by Amy Adams. He was certainly love of those planet things. He was considerations and about all of those and pretty most awesome things ever. And her husband was sent to the hospitals. He was injured to her injury that Marshall did, and Marshall was sad for Rachel. He was still alive. She's certainly not dead yet. And Stanley Tucson was the commission commander, and Ben Kingsley was the third character was from the Jungle Book, and Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, and the Shutter Island. He was totally completely on about every year ago. So every much time. So thank you so much for coming in, guy. So every most moments today. So all of my children's through Robot Chicken. So today is a Robot Chicken. Congratulations for completely recurring on the rumor today on TV shows on today. Thank you so much. Thank you for so much for coming. She says, don't forget to watch us on the White Collars. All my children's, The Sopranos, Convictions, and Law and Order, Intended, Criminal Intended, and White Collar, Odd Jobs, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Parenthood, and Imagine Dragon music video is Radioactive, and the video game is Dylan Albert, Marvel's Adventures as Ho Van Dyke Wasp. She was totally awesome. She was thinking about the New Girl, True Detective, and Married, and The Last Man on Earth, American Horror Story Hotel, Workaholics, and Robot Chicken. So I love that TV shows for you, Alexandra. I love you for my new friend. Alright guys, 31st birthday is over, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my contest. Follow on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Google, Find Situation on Steam, Gaming Chat, Shark Star, Elmwood, New Jersey State, Gawk Story, Talk, Tom Online, Hangouts on the Play Store. Follow on links description of friends here are Majugga Nuggets, Big Brother, George Dahlbarger, Kid Behind the Camera, Bridget West, The Inca Grandpa Show, Grandpa's Quarter, Psychic Dad, Joe Bum, Larry's Lounge, and Psychic Aunts, Psychic Uncles, and Melissa, Psychic Mom, Manicorn, Julie Ride, Crocodile Bus, Parker's for Life, and Mark Lucasen, Roman Edward Wings, and Brittany Smith, Daradiso Daily with Fossilita, Life of Mokubu, Space Jam Gardens, Cuba Guy, The Cuba Guy Life, Horror Gamer, Ness Boog, The Boo Show, Kevin Edwards Jr. with Mary here and the kids, and Matt Boomer and Simon Halls, and Alexandra Daddario and her birthday, Logan Lerman, Brandy T. Jackson, Leva Raman, Jim Perrick, Ali Wood, Jake Aba, Douglas Smith, Douglas Booth, Israel Miller, Emma Watson on Beauty and the Beast coming out on tomorrow, Friday, March 17th. Woo! You guys have to see it. Emma Watson as Belle. Don't forget, Margot Robbie, Henry Cavill, Rose Squad, Team Creed, Reagan Dad, and Jackson Doherty, Xiaomi TV, Humad, Elia Giles, and Ben Phillips, and Nana Giles, and Ben Phillips and Elia Giles on the subscription. Subscribe today. On this today, Pranks vs. Prank, BF vs. GF as today. So you can have so much. So thank you so much for the coming in, guys. So this is the opportunity on YouTube 24. My company is. This is me. This is my YouTube. This is my company on YouTube. YouTube channels on YouTuber 24 today. So I'll leave you guys to feel free to this. So don't forget to videos on Instagram at Alexandra Daddario today. She is on in the Canada today playing to continually anonymous on Rachel. So don't forget. So keep it rich, mateys. Have fun to her birthday.